Ambassador Kate Morrison stood in the massive hall of the Galactic Council. The ceiling stretched high above her head, covered with stars from 1,000 different worlds. Around her sat representatives from 12 alien species, each one different from the last. Some looked like giant insects, others like floating gas clouds, and a few resembled walking crystals that sparkled in the light. Kate had been Earth's voice in this place for 3 years now. 3 years since humanity first met aliens and learned they were not alone in the galaxy. She worked hard every day to keep peace between Earth and the other worlds. Most days were good, but today felt different. Today felt dangerous. Captain Alex Turner sat in his command chair aboard the UES Horizon. His ship was humanity's first vessel to explore deep space beyond Earth's solar system. The bridge around him buzzed with quiet activity. His crew of 35 people had become like family during their 6-month mission. "Captain, we're picking up a distress signal," said Lisa Grant from her navigation station. Her fingers danced across the glowing controls. "It's coming from a Velkari merchant ship about 2 hours away." Alex nodded. The Velkari were traders who sold goods across the galaxy. They had always been friendly to humans. "What kind of trouble are they in?" "Raiders, sir," replied Ryan Brooks, the chief engineer. His voice carried worry. "Unknown ships are attacking them. The Velkari are asking for help." Dr. Paul Martinez looked up from his medical station. "Captain, if there are wounded, they'll need help fast. Velkari biology is fragile." Alex made his decision quickly. "Set course for the Velkari ship. Full speed. Lisa, send a message telling them help is coming." The Horizon turned toward the distant battle. Alex felt the familiar weight of command on his shoulders. This was what humans did. They helped others in need, even when it meant danger for themselves. 2 hours later, the Horizon dropped out of faster-than-light travel. Ahead of them, space lit up with weapon fire. 3 unknown ships circled a damaged Velkari vessel like wolves around wounded prey. The merchant ship's hull showed burn marks and holes. It was dying. "Unknown raiders, this is Captain Turner of the Earth vessel Horizon." Alex spoke into his communicator. "Stop your attack and withdraw immediately." The raiders ignored him. Their ships were sleek and black with no markings to show where they came from. They kept firing at the helpless Velkari. "Ryan, charge weapons," Alex ordered. "Lisa, get us between those raiders and the merchant ship." But before the Horizon could move closer, space around them suddenly filled with new ships. Large, angular vessels appeared from nowhere. Alex recognized them immediately. Zephyrian warships. The Zephyrians were one of the strongest military powers in the galaxy. Their gray ships looked like flying weapons built only for war. "This is War Commander Thexelar of the Zephyrian fleet." A harsh voice crackled through the radio. "Human vessel, you are under arrest for unprovoked attack on neutral ships." Alex stared at his screen in shock. "What? We haven't fired a shot. We're here to help the Velkari." But as he spoke, the 3 raider ships suddenly exploded in bright flashes of light. The Velkari merchant ship broke apart a moment later, its hull splitting like a broken egg. There were no survivors. "Our sensors show your ship fired the shots that destroyed both the raiders and the Velkari vessel," Thexelar continued. His voice held no emotion, like he was reading from a script. "Surrender now or face destruction." "That's impossible," Ryan said, checking his instruments. "Our weapons never fired. The computer logs show we never even charged them fully." Alex felt cold fear in his stomach. Something was very wrong here. "War Commander, I request permission to transmit our sensor data to prove our innocence." "Your data has been corrupted by weapon discharge," Thexelar replied. "We have clear evidence of your crimes. Surrender now." Lisa turned to Alex with wide eyes. "Captain, they're surrounding us. 12 ships, all with weapons locked on us." Alex looked at his crew. These people trusted him to keep them safe. The Zephyrians were lying, but he could not prove it. Not here, not now, with his ship surrounded and outgunned. "We surrender," Alex said, the words tasting bitter in his mouth. "But I protest this false accusation. Earth will hear about this." 3 days later, Ambassador Kate Morrison stood before the Galactic Council again. This time she was not here for routine business. She was here to defend her people against charges of murder and piracy. The evidence looked bad. Video recordings from Zephyrian ships showed the Horizon firing on both the Raiders and the Velkari. The computer data from Alex's ship had been mysteriously corrupted, just as Thexelar claimed. Kate knew it was all lies, but she could not prove it. The humans have shown their true nature, War Commander Thexelar said to the Council. His reptilian face showed no expression. They pretend to be peaceful, but they kill without reason. They cannot be trusted. Kate stood to defend her people. Honored Council members, this evidence is false. Captain Turner and his crew are good, people who were trying to help. Someone has set us up. But her words fell on deaf ears. One by one, the Council members voted. The insect-like hierarchs voted against humanity. The proud Stellar Dominion representatives voted against humanity. Even some species that Kate thought were friends turned away from her. The final vote was 8 against humanity, 4 in favor. Only the peaceful Melodians, the Crystal Architects, the Gaseous Drifters, and surprisingly, the Ancient Ethereals, supported Earth. The sanctions are approved, announced the Council speaker, a floating jellyfish-like creature. All human ships must return to Earth's solar system immediately. All trade with Earth is suspended. Captain Turner and his crew will be handed over to Zephyrian justice for trial. Kate felt her heart break. Everything she had worked for was destroyed. Earth would be alone again, cut off from the galaxy. Worse, good people like Alex Turner would suffer for crimes they did not commit. As she left the Council chambers, Kate sent an emergency message to Earth. President Helen Carter needed to know what had happened. But even as she sent the message, Kate wondered if Earth could survive being cut off from galactic trade and technology. She did not know that some people on Earth had been preparing for this day. She did not know about the secret projects and hidden weapons. She did not know that humanity's enemies had just made the biggest mistake of their lives. The galaxy was about to learn what happened when humans were pushed too far. 3 months had passed since the Galactic Council cut off Earth from the rest of the galaxy. President Helen Carter sat in the White House Situation Room, looking at reports from around the world. The news was not as bad as everyone had feared. European Union reports their factories are running at full capacity, said Secretary of State Bill Peterson. Japan and South Korea have increased their technology production by 40%. Even with the alien trade cutoff, we're managing better than expected. Helen nodded, but her mind was on other things. She looked across the table at General Frank Miller, the Director of Earth Defense. His gray hair and serious face showed the weight of secrets he carried. "Frank, it's time," Helen said quietly. "Tell me about the programs we've been hiding." General Miller stood and walked to a large screen on the wall. With a few button presses, images appeared that made everyone in the room gasp. Sleek spacecraft, hung in massive underground facilities. Weapons that looked like they came from science fiction movies sat in testing chambers. Soldiers in advanced armor practiced in training rooms. 3 years ago, when we first met the aliens, some of us worried this day would come, Miller began. We started secret projects in 12 countries. The Prometheus Project built new ships. The Guardian Project created advanced weapons. The SHIELD Project developed our defenses. Admiral Susan Blake, commander of what everyone thought was just Earth's small space patrol, smiled for the first time in months. We have 68 combat ships ready for action, not the simple patrol boats everyone knows about. Real warships with technology the aliens have never seen. Dr. Jennifer Stone, Earth's top scientist, pulled up more images. We didn't just copy alien technology. We improved it. Human creativity found solutions that alien minds couldn't see. Our ships are faster, stronger, and smarter than anything in the galaxy. Helen stared at the images. How many people know about this? Less than 5,000 spread across the globe, Miller replied. Everyone involved signed the highest security oaths. They knew this day might come. Far away from Earth, in a hidden asteroid field, Captain Alex Turner and his crew lived like criminals. Their ship, the Horizon, was damaged and running low on supplies. They had been declared fugitives by the Galactic Council, hunted by Zephyrian ships across 3 star systems. "Captain, I found something," said Intelligence Officer Maria Santos. She had spent weeks studying the computer data they recovered before their ship's systems were corrupted. Her dark eyes showed excitement and anger. Alex floated over to her workstation in the zero gravity of their hiding place. "What is it, Maria?" "The corruption wasn't random," she explained, pointing at streams of data on her screen. "Someone used a Zephyrian military virus to destroy our records. But they made a mistake. Small pieces of the original data survived in backup systems." Dr. Martinez joined them, his medical scanner showing stress and exhaustion. "What kind of mistake?" Maria's fingers flew across her keyboard. "They used the same virus signature that Zephyrian intelligence uses for their own operations. I can trace it back to its source. Captain, the virus came from War Commander Thexlar's own ship." Ryan Brooks drifted closer, his engineering tools floating around him. "That means they planned this from the beginning. They wanted to frame us." "It gets worse," Maria continued. She pulled up intercepted communications, fragments of messages she had pieced together. "This wasn't just about us. The Zephyrians are afraid of humans. They think we're too dangerous to let grow stronger." Lisa Grant, still at her navigation post despite their desperate situation, turned to face the group. "Captain, I'm detecting Zephyrian patrol ships 2 systems away. They're getting closer to finding us." Alex felt anger burning in his chest, but also determination. "Maria, can you get this evidence to Earth?" "Already working on it, sir. Tight beam transmission through 3 relay stations. It'll take 6 hours to reach Earth, but they'll get everything." Back on Earth, the evidence arrived as President Carter was meeting with her military leaders. The proof of Zephyrian lies and conspiracy spread through the government like wildfire. But before anyone could celebrate, worse news arrived. Admiral Blake received the emergency transmission first. Her face went pale as she read the message. "Madam President, we have a problem. A big one." The main screen showed space near Earth's outer colonies. A human medical ship, the UES Mercy, was approaching Mars with supplies for the mining settlements. The ship was clearly marked with Red Cross symbols, following all international space law. Suddenly, Zephyrian warships appeared around the medical vessel. Without warning, without demands for surrender, they opened fire. The Mercy exploded in seconds, taking all 43 crew members with her. "They said they were enforcing the sanctions," Admiral Blake said, her voice shaking with rage. "Captain Danny Rodriguez sent a final message before they died. The Zephyrians claimed the medical ship was carrying weapons." General Miller slammed, his fist on the table. "Medical supplies, food for colonists. That's what they were carrying. The Zephyrians murdered 43 innocent people." Helen Carter closed her eyes and thought of the families who would never see their loved ones again. Dr. Lisa Chen, who had developed new treatments for alien diseases. Engineer Pete Jackson, who had 2 young children waiting for him at home. Captain Rodriguez, who had volunteered for the dangerous supply run because he wanted to help people. "They've crossed the line," Helen said quietly. "Frank, Susan, Jennifer, how fast can we be ready?" "The ships are fueled and armed," Admiral Blake replied. "Crews have been training in secret for months. We can launch in 72 hours. Doctor." Stone pulled up tactical displays. "Our weapons testing is complete. The new technology works better than we hoped. We're ready." General Miller looked around the room at faces filled with determination and controlled anger. "Madam President, we need to discuss rules of engagement. How far are we willing to go?" Helen stood and walked to the window, looking out at the city where millions of people were living normal lives, unaware of the storm that was coming. "We're not like them. We don't murder innocent people. We target military installations only. We avoid civilian casualties even if it makes our job harder." "And if they surrender?" Admiral Blake asked. "We accept their surrender and treat prisoners according to international law," Helen replied. "We're going to show the galaxy the difference between humans and monsters." She turned back to her military leaders. "But make no mistake. The Zephyrians wanted a war. They're going to get one. They think humans are dangerous when we're peaceful. Wait until they see what we're like when we're angry. General Miller smiled grimly. Orders, Madam President? Launch Operation Righteous Fury in 72 hours, Helen said. It's time to show the galaxy what happens when you push humans too far. As the meeting ended, none of them knew that. Other members of the Galactic Council were already making plans. Some wanted to help the Zephyrians destroy humanity completely. Others were secretly hoping the humans would win. The galaxy was about to change forever. Admiral Susan Blake stood on the bridge of the UES Thunder, Earth's newest and most powerful warship. Around her, the command crew worked with quiet efficiency. Today was the day humanity would show the galaxy what they were truly capable of. All ships report ready, Admiral, said Captain Jennifer Walsh from her position at the communications station. Her voice was calm, but her eyes showed the same determination that filled every person in the fleet. Blake looked at the tactical display, showing 36 Earthships positioned throughout space. They had been invisible to alien sensors for the past week, using new stealth technology that human engineers had developed. The galaxy had no idea what was coming. Operation Righteous Fury is now active, Blake announced to the fleet. Remember, your orders. Military targets only. No civilian casualties. Show them what human precision looks like. The first target was Kepler Station, a massive Zephyrian military base that controlled 3 star systems. War Commander Thexlar had been using it as his headquarters to coordinate attacks on human ships. The station's weapons could destroy entire planets, and its shipyards built the warships that terrorized peaceful species. Captain Steve Anderson commanded the assault cruiser UES Retribution as it approached the station. His ship was invisible to Zephyrian sensors, sliding through space like a ghost. Behind him followed 8 more Earth vessels, each one carrying enough firepower to level a city. Target acquired, reported Lieutenant Mike Chen from the weapons station. All gun batteries locked on military sections of the station. Anderson studied the tactical display. The station held 12,000 Zephyrians, but most were civilians who worked in the shops and living areas. Confirmed? Military sections only. Fire when ready. The Earthships opened fire with weapons the galaxy had never seen before. Beams of pure energy, guided by computer targeting systems that never missed, struck the station's weapon platforms and military docks. Explosions lit up space as Zephyrian warships died before they could even power up their engines. Zephyrian vessels are trying to respond, Chen reported. They can't see us, sir. Their targeting systems can't lock on. Anderson watched as confused Zephyrian ships fired wildly into empty space. Human stealth technology made their vessels impossible to track. Continue firing. Destroy their military capacity, but watch for escape pods. The battle was over in minutes. Kepler Station's military sections were burning wreckage, but the civilian areas remained untouched. Earthships moved quickly to rescue Zephyrian escape pods, even as their owners had been trying to kill humans just moments before. Meanwhile, deep in an asteroid field, Commander Lisa Park led a special rescue mission. Her ship, the UES Ghost, was the smallest and fastest vessel in the Earth fleet. Her job was to find Captain Turner and his crew before the Zephyrians could capture them. Passive sensors are picking up the Horizon signature, reported Navigation Officer Tom Wilson. They're hiding in Asteroid Cluster 774. Park smiled. Send them our recognition codes. Let them know the cavalry has arrived. When the Ghost reached the horizon, Park found Turner's crew in bad shape. They had been living on emergency rations for weeks, and their ship was barely functional, but their spirits lifted when they saw the sleek Earth warship. Alex, you and your people are heroes back home, Park told Turner as her crew transferred supplies to the damaged horizon. The evidence Maria found proved everything. The whole galaxy is going to know the truth. Intelligence Officer Santos looked exhausted but determined. Commander, I've been monitoring Zephyrian communications. They have detailed records of their conspiracy against humanity. If I can access their main computer. Already planned, Park replied. We're going to download every bit of data they have. The galaxy will see exactly what the Zephyrians have been doing. While the rescue was happening, Captain Michelle Torres was leading her own mission. Her heavy cruiser, the UES Hammer, approached a Zephyrian weapons depot that supplied military forces in 3 sectors. The facility was enormous, built into an asteroid and heavily defended. 24 automated defense platforms, reported Weapons Officer Jake Miller, plus 6 patrol ships and a destroyer. Torres studied the tactical display. The weapons depot was storing enough firepower to arm 100 warships, but it was also home to 3,000 Zephyrian workers and their families. Launch precision strikes on the weapons storage areas only, Torres ordered. Avoid the residential sections, and jam their communications so they can't call for help. The Hammer's weapons fired with surgical precision. Each shot was calculated to destroy military equipment while leaving living areas intact. When Zephyrian ships moved to attack, they found themselves facing weapons that could track multiple targets simultaneously. Enemy destroyer is trying to ram us, Miller reported. Let them come, Torres replied calmly. Disable their engines, but don't destroy them. They might have families waiting at home. The Earth ships worked with efficiency that amazed even their own crews. Human technology, combined with careful planning and moral restraint, created a force unlike anything the galaxy had seen. They struck hard and fast, but always with precision that protected innocent lives. In the command center on Earth, General Miller watched reports coming in from across the galaxy. Kepler Station neutralized. Weapons depot secured. Enemy fleet. At Proxima Base destroyed. We've eliminated Zephyrian military power in 3 sectors. President Carter nodded with satisfaction, but her face remained serious. Casualties. Zephyrian military casualties are estimated at 8,000, Miller reported. Civilian casualties, 0. Our forces went to extraordinary lengths to protect non-combatants. And our losses? Minor damage to 2 ships. No human deaths. No injuries requiring medical evacuation. Carter allowed herself a small smile. The Zephyrians expected us to fight like them. They thought we would kill everyone in our path. They were wrong. Admiral Blake's voice came through the communication system. Madam President, we've recovered Captain Turner and his crew. We also have complete records of the Zephyrian conspiracy. The evidence is overwhelming. Send it to every news organization in the galaxy, Carter ordered. Let everyone see the truth. As reports of Earth's victories spread throughout space, alien civilizations watched in amazement. The humans had accomplished in 72 hours what the Galactic Council thought impossible. They had broken Zephyrian military power while showing mercy to their enemies. On the Zephyrian homeworld, panic filled the government halls. War Commander Thexlar's communications had gone silent. Their most powerful military bases were destroyed. Worst of all, their secret plans were now public knowledge. The galaxy was learning a hard lesson. Humans could be the most generous friends, or the most dangerous enemies. The choice was up to those who faced them. The Zephyrians had chosen wrong, and now they were paying the price. But this was only the beginning. Earth's retaliation would reshape the entire galaxy. News of humanity's victory spread across the galaxy faster than light itself. On 1,000 different worlds, alien beings watched their communication screens in shock. The humans had done something no one thought possible. They had crushed the mighty Zephyrian military in just 3 days. Ambassador Kate Morrison walked into the Galactic Council chambers with her head held high. 3 months ago, she had left this place in shame and defeat. Now she carried proof that would change everything. Behind her walked Captain Alex Turner, no longer a fugitive but a hero returning home. The great hall buzzed with nervous whispers. Representatives from 12 species sat in their assigned places, but the atmosphere had completely changed. Some looked frightened, others seemed curious, a few appeared angry. The Council recognizes Ambassador Morrison of Earth, announced the speaker, the jellyfish-like creature that ran the meetings. Kate stepped forward. Honored members, I present evidence of conspiracy and war crimes committed against humanity. She activated a holographic display that filled the center of the chamber. These are communication records recovered from Zephyrian military computers. The recordings played for everyone to hear. War Commander Thexlar's voice echoed through the hall as he planned the attack on the Velkari ship. Other Zephyrian officers, discussed how to frame the humans. Worst of all, they talked about their plan to eliminate humanity completely. "These recordings are fabricated," declared High Regent Zarthek of the Stellar Dominion. His forearms waved angrily. "Humans created false evidence to justify their aggression." Captain Turner stood up from his seat. "I was there when it happened. I watched innocent beings die because of Zephyrian lies. This evidence is real." Across the galaxy, different species reacted to the news in their own ways. On the Velkari homeworld, Trade Coordinator Zentar called an emergency meeting of the merchant guilds. "The humans risked their lives to save our people." Zentar's translator device spoke for him. "The Zephyrians murdered our traders and blamed Earth. We must stand with humanity." The ancient ethereals, who rarely spoke in council meetings, sent their representative to address the gathering. Wise One. Kelmoth's energy form glowed brighter than usual as he communicated through thought speech. "We have observed humanity since first contact." His voice echoed in everyone's minds. "They show wisdom beyond their years. In victory, they chose mercy over revenge. This is the mark of a truly advanced species." But not everyone was convinced. In the private chambers of the hierarchy, Coordinator Vexhul met with representatives from 3 other species. The insect-like beings' compound eyes reflected worry and anger. "The humans are more dangerous than we thought," Vexhul's mechanical voice translator said. "Their military power threatens the established order. If we do not act now, they will dominate us all." High Regent Zarthek nodded his agreement. "My intelligence sources report human ships throughout the galaxy. They move like ghosts, invisible to our sensors. We must convince the Council to authorize military action before it's too late." On Earth, Intelligence Director Sarah Thompson worked with her team of analysts to uncover the full truth. Her best agent, Jake Morrison, had spent weeks studying intercepted alien communications. "Director, we found something big," Jake said as he entered her office. His face showed excitement and concern. "The conspiracy goes deeper than just the Zephyrians." Sarah looked at the data on Jake's tablet. Communication logs showed meetings between Zephyrian leaders and representatives from 4 other council species. They were all working together? "For over a year," Jake confirmed. "The hierarchy, the Stellar Dominion, the Iron Federation, and the Void Seekers. They saw humanity as a threat to their power and decided to eliminate us before we could grow stronger." Sarah felt cold anger in her stomach. How many other species knew about this? At least 3 others knew something was planned, but they didn't participate directly. The conspiracy involved 7 of the 12 council members. Meanwhile, Captain Turner had been promoted to Commodore and given command of a diplomatic mission. His job was to visit species that had remained neutral during the crisis. The Earth government wanted to build new alliances and show the galaxy that humans were trustworthy partners. His first stop was the Melodian homeworld. The Melodians were peaceful beings who communicated through musical tones. They had supported humanity in the council vote, but Earth wanted to strengthen that friendship. Dr. Martinez, now serving as the mission's chief medical officer, worked with Melodian healers to develop new treatments for diseases that affected both species. His kindness and skill impressed the alien doctors. "Your people have generous hearts," sang Elder Harmony, the Melodian leader. Her voice created beautiful music that filled the air. "We see why the ethereals speak so highly of humans." Engineer Ryan Brooks demonstrated human technology to curious Melodian scientists. He showed them how Earth's innovations could improve their peaceful society. "We don't want to change your way of life," he explained. "We want to help you make it better." The drifters, ancient beings made of living gas, made an unprecedented announcement. Through their speaker, known as Voice of Winds, they revealed something that shocked the entire galaxy. "We have watched the young species called humans since they first reached for the stars," the Voice of Winds announced to the Council. "We have seen their potential for both creation and destruction. They are a catalyst that will push galactic civilization to evolve or die." This statement caused massive debate throughout the galaxy. The drifters were older than any other known species. Their words carried enormous weight in galactic politics. In a secret prison facility, War Commander Thexlar sat in a cell designed for Zephyrian physiology. Human guards treated him well, following international law, but he faced charges of war crimes and conspiracy. His testimony would reveal the full extent of the anti-human plot. "Why did you do it?" asked the human prosecutor during one interrogation session. "Humanity never threatened your people." Thexler's reptilian face showed no emotion. "Your species learns too fast. You adapt too quickly. In 50 years you would have surpassed us all. We could not allow that." The prosecutor shook her head. "So you decided to commit genocide because you were afraid of competition?" "It was necessary for galactic stability," Thexlar replied. "The established order must be maintained." His words, recorded and broadcast throughout the galaxy, showed exactly what humanity had been fighting against: fear of change, hatred of progress, and willingness to murder entire species to maintain power. As Part 4 ended, the galaxy stood at a crossroads. Some species wanted to embrace humanity as partners in building a better future. Others feared human power and wanted to destroy them before they became too strong. The next phase of the crisis would determine whether the galaxy would move forward together or tear itself apart in war. The Great Council chamber had never seen anything like this before. Representatives from across the galaxy packed every seat, while millions more watched on their homeworlds. Today would decide the future of galactic civilization. Ambassador Kate Morrison stood at the center of the hall. Beside her, Admiral Susan Blake wore her dress uniform with quiet pride. General Frank Miller had traveled from Earth specifically for this moment. The evidence they carried would change everything. President Helen Carter appeared as a hologram, her image projected for all to see. The leader of humanity looked calm, but her words carried the weight of an entire species. "Honored members of the Galactic Council," Carter began. "Humanity stands before you not as conquerors but as partners seeking justice. We have endured lies, murder, and conspiracy. We have defended ourselves with precision and mercy. Now we offer you a choice." She paused, letting her words sink in. "Join us in building a better galaxy, or continue the old ways of fear and oppression. But know this: humanity will never again bow to injustice." The evidence that Intelligence Director Thompson's team had gathered was overwhelming. Communication logs showed the conspiracy in perfect detail. 7 species had worked together to destroy humanity. Their plan had been simple: frame humans for crimes, isolate them from the galaxy, then eliminate them completely. Coordinator Vexhul of the hierarchy tried to defend his actions. "The humans are too dangerous to coexist with established civilizations. Their rapid advancement threatens galactic stability." "You mean it threatens your power?" Admiral Blake replied firmly. "You were afraid that humans would show other species there was a better way to live." High Regent Zarthek of the Stellar Dominion stood with his 4 arms crossed. "We will not apologize for protecting galactic order. The humans must be contained before they corrupt others with their chaotic ways." But as he spoke, news arrived that changed everything. On the Zephyrian homeworld, the people had learned the truth about their government's actions. They discovered that their leaders had murdered innocent beings and lied to start a war. Captain Jennifer Walsh, now commanding humanitarian operations, transmitted a live feed from the Zephyrian capital. "Council members, you need to see this. The cool." Screens throughout the chamber showed massive crowds of Zephyrians in the streets. They carried signs demanding justice for the humans they had wronged. They called for the removal of their corrupt government. Most shocking of all, they asked for human help in building a better society. "The Zephyrian people reject war," Walsh reported. "They want peace with humanity. Their military leaders are under arrest by their own police." War Commander Thexlar, watching from his prison cell, saw his life's work crumble. The empire he had served was turning against everything he believed in. The Ethereals chose this moment to make their most important announcement in 1,000 years. Wise One, Kelmoth's energy form pulsed with ancient wisdom as he addressed the Council. "We propose a new galactic compact," he declared, "one that protects all species from the corruption that nearly destroyed us. Humanity has shown us the way forward. The new compact would create stronger protections for member species. No longer could powerful civilizations bully weaker ones. Transparency would replace secret conspiracies. Justice would replace fear. Species after species began to declare their support. The Melodians sang songs of harmony and cooperation. The Velkari offered to establish new trade routes with Earth. Even some former enemies began to change their positions. The crystal-based architects created a beautiful holographic display, showing how the galaxy could look under the new system. Their mathematical minds had calculated that cooperation would benefit everyone more than the old system of domination. But the most dramatic moment came when the drifters made an offer that shocked everyone. Voice of Wind spoke with the authority of eons. Humanity has proven worthy of ancient knowledge. We offer to share technologies that we have hidden for millions of years. Together we can explore galaxies beyond this one. President Carter's hologram flickered as she considered this incredible offer. We are honored by your trust, but first, we must heal the wounds in our own galaxy. The final vote came after hours of debate. One by one, species that had remained neutral chose sides. The Melodians voted for the new compact. The architects supported humanity. The drifters offered their ancient wisdom. Even some former conspirators began to change their minds. Smaller members of the hierarchy broke away from Coordinator Vexhul's leadership. They had seen what human mercy looked like and wanted to be part of the new order. The final tally was overwhelming. 10 species supported the new Galactic Compact. Only 2, the Stellar Dominion and the Core Hierarchy worlds, refused to accept change. High Regent Zarthek stood alone as his former allies abandoned him. This is not over. The humans will show their true nature eventually. You will all regret this decision. But his words fell on deaf ears. The galaxy had chosen hope over fear, cooperation over domination. Kate Morrison was elected as the first Secretary General of the reformed Galactic Council. Her first act was to pardon all species that had opposed humanity, offering them full membership in the new system if they promised to follow the rules of justice and cooperation. Admiral Turner, promoted again to lead the new Joint Species Exploration Fleet, stood on the bridge of his new flagship. His crew included beings from 8 different species, all working together as equals. Dr. Martinez ran medical exchanges that shared knowledge between worlds. Engineer Brooks led technology programs that benefited everyone. On Earth, children learned alongside young aliens in integrated schools. Human and alien scientists worked together on projects that seemed impossible just months before. The galaxy had become a place where different species could grow together instead of fighting each other. The final scene showed Earth's sun rising over a world at peace. In orbit around the planet, ships from a dozen species worked together, exploring the mysteries of space. Humanity's ruthless retaliation had become something better, a foundation for galactic cooperation that would last for generations. The galaxy had learned that justice, backed by strength and guided by mercy, could transform entire civilizations. Earth's children would inherit a universe where being different was celebrated, not feared, where cooperation replaced conquest, and where the stars themselves were no longer limits but invitations to grow.